What is the Upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXGamerCast. We're on episode 194 of my little gaming show where once a week I just has to talk about video games, whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter, video games. And today we are taking a look again at the PlayStation 5 and its library of video games. Now, I've done a few episodes on the PlayStation 5. I've done a full PlayStation 5 review, and overall, you can go back and listen to that episode and what my opinions are on that, but my opinions on this generation for PlayStation hasn't been that high. I haven't been all in on this generation. It really hasn't been all in for us, the gamers, in my opinion. So what I want to do today is I'm going to take a look at the exclusives for the PS5, the third-party games, and of course, I want to talk about some of the games I haven't played yet. But we're going to take a look at this library of video games that we have here on PS5, and is it worthy if you haven't gotten a PS5 yet? Is it worthy of you to go and get a PS5 now, or is it just worth your time to just wait it out, wait for the PS6, and we'll see. We'll see if I can answer that question today. I already have a PS5. I got one during COVID when it was ridiculously hard to get a PlayStation 5. I finally found one on an adventure to buy printer ink. I found a PlayStation 5 randomly, purchased that bitch, got a full escort out of the building. It was crazy. Regardless, I've owned my PlayStation 5 for numerous years now, and I just don't feel fully satisfied, not yet. Not with this current library of video games, and there just hasn't been the exclusive power that PlayStation has had, and we've been spoiled with over the last couple of generations. I mean, honestly, the whole entire existence of the PlayStation, the libraries have been insane. PlayStation 1's library's nuts. PS2, come on now. That's one of the greatest, most in-depth libraries of all time. Then you have the PS3. Yes, it started slow, but by the end of it, we were swimming in exclusive video games, and the PS4 did the same thing. They just kept pumping out exclusive after exclusive after exclusive, and then the tap kind of got shut off here at PlayStation 5. Yes, we have exclusives, of course, but is there enough to justify? I spent over $1,000 on my PlayStation 5, with a little bit of bells and whistles here and there, but you're going to be spending upwards to around $1,000 if you want to get a PlayStation, get a video game with it or something, maybe an extra controller. You're easily looking at $1,000, no doubt in my mind. And it's only going up. The price has only gone up this generation. So that's another reason why you may want to wait it out, but we'll get to that. Wow, I shouldn't have rambled so much about that, but that's what the episode's going to be about. But before we get into that, let us discuss what I've been up to over the last week or so. As I always encourage you, the viewer, the listener, let me know what y'all have been up to over the last whatever amount of time. It doesn't matter. What games are you diving into right now? Have you seen any good movies lately and or TV shows? Let me know, because I am always looking for recommendations, so hit me with them. All right, so this week, some people might remember me doing the hockey podcast that I was doing when I first started this. I started out as a hockey podcast, and I just want to talk a little bit about hockey. I usually don't on the gaming podcast, but something major happened this week, and I need to talk about it. And that is the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the first overall pick in the NHL lottery draft. Now, I need to talk about this because I lost my mind like a little girl. I jumped out off my couch, jumping for joy, screaming and yelling in front of my wife, and she just looked baffled at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? I can't believe I married this guy. But I haven't been that excited for the Toronto Maple Leafs since maybe when they won the first round for the first time in a long time, but I think, honestly, the last time I was this excited for the Toronto Maple Leafs was when John Tavares signed as a free agent with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I remember I was out shopping. In the middle of the shopping mart, I just yelled out, "John Tavares is a Leaf!" And 3 other people were like, "Oh my God," but 90% of that grocery store thought I was a psychopath, which I probably am. Regardless, this changes the complete outlook of the Toronto Maple Leafs for the next 10 years. What I thought was going to be dreadful, awful, rebuilding, retooling, whatever you want to call it, has now just been, we got a breath of fresh air here in the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. They're going to pick first overall. They were going to pick fifth, arguably could have been 6th or 7th. Now, what makes this really intense was if the Leafs dropped down to 6 or 7 in the draft, they would have gave the pick away to Boston. But if they stayed at 5 or moved up, they're keeping it. And they got the number 1 pick. I couldn't believe it. The number 12 is going to be just... I'm going to get a back piece of the number 12. I swear to God. That number is so amazing now. To me, if you know, you know. That was the last lottery ball that the Leafs needed. They needed the number 12, and 12 popped up, and they fucking won it. That is revengeance for the Leafs not winning the Connor McDavid draft. The ball was in, and then it came back out, and that's a story for another day. But the Leafs getting the first overall pick, that is dope. I'm actually excited for the Toronto Maple Leafs' future now. Even though it's just 1 pick, they still need much, much, much more than that. But a first overall pick is always going to be awesome in your organization, unless you're the Edmonton Oilers and you're picking Nail Yakupov. Regardless, I have been watching a lot of NHL hockey. I've been watching the playoffs. Been pretty good. This is the first year in 9 years I haven't been cheering for my Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs, so I've kind of hopped on to the Montreal Canadiens bandwagon because they're the only Canadian team left, and I kind of like their team. They're young, they're fun, they're exciting, they're energetic, they're fast, so it's been fun there. They've had a really good series against Tampa Bay. They're in it right now against Buffalo. That has been good. But the best so far, I think the best hockey I've seen was Colorado and Minnesota game 1. 9-6 was the final of that game. Just batshit crazy. That game was wild. Almost every puck I swore went in, but it's been a pretty decent playoffs. I could care less about the Carolina Hurricanes and their run. They're so boring to watch. I can't stand them. I was watching them last night, and I was just like, this is brutal, man. This is brutally boring hockey. But it's effective hockey, so I understand why they're doing it. Anyway, but let me know, are you watching the NHL playoffs, and who are you rooting for? All right, let's talk TV shows. No movies this week, so we got some TV shows here. Watched a show called Straight to Hell on Netflix. Now, admittedly, I was 1 foot in on this show. I wasn't fully committed. I was playing Pokopia. But this show was grabbing me. Like, even though I wasn't, like, paying attention a lot, I was paying attention. I would catch myself being, like, watching the show. I'm like, this is really good. This is actually a really good show. I kind of wish I gave it my full attention because it seemingly deserved it. But it's a kind of a true story based on this fortune teller and her life and how she got to be this famous fortune teller, and she's got this ghostwriter who's following her and, hearing all these stories and learning new information. Quite good. It is I don't know if it's Korean or Japanese, but it is a foreign language friggin' show, so you're gonna have to put on subtitles or something like that. It does have English dubbing, so there is that, and it was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty good. But a good show. I would hit it with 7.5 out of 10 for half being in, half out. You know what I'm saying? Pretty impressed. I was impressed with the show. It was pretty damn good. So that was on Netflix. You can check that one out over there. Peacemaker Season 2. Come on down. We started Peacemaker Season 2 last night. Only just got the 1 episode in, but we started that. Still watching Invincible Season 4 very slowly, working my way through. I'm not rushing. I'm just almost 1 episode a week right now, maybe 2 a week. But I only watched 1 episode since last time. And admittedly, at the end of that episode, shit hit the fan. So I'm very excited to watch the next episode. And that's all I've been watching. We got a lot of video games to talk about, though. So Pokopia. I rolled credits on Pokopia last night. I cried, and it was a whole situation. I have been so emotional lately. It's been ridiculous. I don't know what is going on, but everything seemingly is making me cry right now. But Pokopia, holy crap. So that'll be next week. Well, I'll do a full review on Pokopia and answer the question, is Pokopia worth buying a Switch 2 for? So we'll do that next week. I'll save my opinions for that episode. So we move on. We got some Lego The Incredibles. My wife and I started playing some more. We've been playing a lot of Lego this year. Continuing on, we finished off the Batman 1 and 2, but she didn't feel like doing Batman 3 yet. So boom, we're doing the Lego Incredibles. Pretty good so far. We got through the first half, which is... It's kind of weird how they do it. They start off with the second movie, and then they go back to the first movie. I don't know why they do that. Why wouldn't you just start with the first movie and go in chronological order? They're doing it weird. I don't know. But it's a Lego game. It's a Lego game. They're all good. I like Lego games. They're all the same, though, except with a different theming. Music's great. Graphics are fine. Gameplay is Lego. You're just punching shit. You're collecting little Legos. You're building little Lego stuff. It's fine. It's pretty good. The superpowers are kind of fun to play with in The Incredibles. You get some new characters. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I think it's pretty damn good. It does have a little bit of open world going for it. I'm not really digging that. I kind of like my Legos to be linear, but it's pretty good. Oh boy, I knocked off a big one this week, y'all. I beat Celeste. Boom. I've not played Celeste before. I talked about it, I believe, on the last Indies episode I talked about the need to play Celeste. Like, it's been on my list for a long time. I've been avoiding it, and I finally did it, and it was so hard. Holy crap. That was a hard video game. That might be that is definitely one of the hardest video games I've ever played, and I didn't even let that game, open up to me. I just played very basic, and it was still very, very difficult. That game can absolutely take years of your life away. It's so difficult. And I'll be talking about Celeste in full in another Indies episode. I'm working on that right now. Been playing some indie games, so I will be doing an episode on that. Speaking of indie games, I also finished off in one sitting Sword of the Sea, it's called. So that is like the Journey-like game on PlayStation 5, so I'll also be talking about that game in the Indies episode. I don't know when it's going to be, 2 episodes, 3 episodes from now, because we have Pokopia I got to do. No, it might be after Pokopia, so we could probably squeeze in another Indies episode after I do Pokopia. So I got Celeste done, Sword of the Sea is done, got that one. I'm going to save my opinions for that game when I get to that episode, and I started Mixtape today. So Mixtape just came out on Game Pass, brand new indie game from, I believe, is the people that did The Artful Escape, if I'm remembering correctly, which I really enjoyed that game, and I'm about 2 hours into Mixtape right now, highly, highly enjoying myself. So that will be another game I'm talking about in that Indies episode, so be on the lookout for that one, playing Mixtape. And I also threw in a little bit of Mario Strikers, because why the fuck not? Finally diving into the GameCube library for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I loved playing Mario Strikers on the Wii back in the day. I think it's the same game, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a port of the GameCube game that they put on Wii, but they gave you motion controls and crap like that. But I played the shit out of that game so much. I loved it, and it's probably my personal favorite Mario sports game. I haven't played them all, of course, but as of right now, that's probably my favorite. Got back into it a few nights ago, and it was nostalgic for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember playing this. I remember getting very angry at Mario Strikers. It can get really intense. The AI in that game is really fucking good, and it can get very intense, especially if you play it multiplayer with another friend. Those games can get fucking crazy. So don't miss out on Mario Strikers, man. Strikers is so freaking good. I love it. A lot of fun. Gotten through the rookie cups right now, and then I'm gonna work my way up the difficulty ladder and see how far I can go before I fucking throw my Switch against the wall, because I know that game is gonna get to me. I know it. But maybe not as bad as Celeste. Celeste got to me really bad this week. That game made me rage, but it's been a little bit, it's very, like I said, very emotional. I was crying, I was angry and yelling, I was happy and smiling. I've been experiencing all sorts of emotions. Oh, my emotions. Okay, so I think that's everything I've been up to this week. I downloaded some games, but I downloaded, what's it called? Wuchon Fallen Feathers, I believe it's called. I actually got kind of turned on to this game. They said it's a Souls-like, very, very Souls-like. I'm like, all right. And you got the Chinese setting. I'm like, okay, looks nice. It was the free game for PlayStation Plus or whatever this month. So I downloaded it, and I might play it. I just might play it. We'll see where I can squeeze it in, but yeah, I have that one on my list right now. It's downloaded and ready to go. So when I'm ready to go, and I'm always ready to go for a Souls game, so yeah, who knows? I don't know when I'm going to get to that game, but let me know if you've played Wuchon Fallen Fetters. Is it a good game? Should I play it? Because I heard, there were some problems at launch. It wasn't performing very good, and I imagine that's all cleaned up now, and I imagine this is one of those games that kind of went under the radar, because there's been a lot of these kind of games lately. Black Myth Wukong, fucking this one, others. There's been a lot of this style of game lately, so I can imagine a few of them have slipped through the cracks, but this one actually looks really good. The combat looks fun, the setting looks awesome, and it's a Souls game. I love Souls games, and I want to try and broaden my horizons in terms of Souls games. Like, I played Lies of P, fucking loved it. That's one of the best Souls-like games, period. And other than that, I've just kind of stuck with the From Software games, and I finished them all. So I need some new games. So if you have any Souls-like games that you want to recommend to me, be my guest. I would love that. That'd be awesome. And there we go, everybody. That's everything that I've been up to over the last week or so. And let's get into it. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 library, and is it worth getting a PlayStation 5 now, or should you just wait for the PlayStation 6? Alrighty, let's get this show on the road. We got a big old list of video games we're going to talk about. It is very difficult to make this list because so many of the PlayStation 5 games you can also play on PS4. So to even make this list, I had to include games that you can also play on PS4 because there's so few straight up PS5 exclusives. I'll point them out, but there's so few of them that I couldn't make a full list. There's just not that many of them. And so yes, there will be some PS4 games on here as well, but you can play them all. All these games I'm going to talk about today, you can play on PS5. Maybe not exclusively, but for the most part, so this is part of the problem, man. Like, why would you go buy a PlayStation 5 when 89% of the games you can play on PS4 still? Yes, they're not performing as good as they are on PlayStation 5. They don't look as good. They don't have the frame rate and all that shit. But if you don't have $1,000 to plop down on the next generation's PlayStation, I don't think there's any problem sitting there with a PS4. I'm already answering the question before I get through this freaking podcast, but I've been very fiery about this situation for the last little while here. Not that I feel like I wasted my money buying a PlayStation 5. I'm very happy with my purchase. I play it all the time. I love my PlayStation 5, don't get me wrong. It's just that this generation has been the weakest by far for video games. There's a lot of video games, don't get me wrong, but exclusives and shit like that, it's been weak. Third party's been really strong. So, well, I have third-party games. We're going to talk about third-party games, and also I want to talk about some games that I haven't played yet. So there's a few exclusives on there as well. All right, let's get into this list. Start off with the so-called exclusives, but we'll start at the bottom here. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have this with an asterisk around it because it's not going to be a PlayStation exclusive for very much longer. It's only for a little bit longer, then it's going to go on Nintendo. I think Xbox is getting this one as well. But for right now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you can only play on PS5, as far as I can tell. It might be on PS4 too, that's the problem. See, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure on that one. But regardless, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, even though I haven't played it yet, it's still on my to-do list. I have it. I've owned it for a few months now. I haven't had the time to get into it, which is funny because I just came off of a 100+ hour RPG. Of course I have time for it. No, don't worry. I will get to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I just want it. I know it's going to be a special game, so I want to make sure I'm in the right frame of mind, and I just want everything to go perfectly for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because I love the first game so freaking much. And that game, that was a PS4 game. Never mind. All right, we'll move on. So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Then we have Sackboy Big Adventure. Yeah, I had to go down to Sackboy Big Adventure. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad game. It's just not that special. Like, it's a good game. That's what I rated it as. I think it was a 7 out of 10. It's a good game. It's a fun co-op experience, but it's definitely lacking. Like, thankfully, they have Astrobot now, who has taken over the platforming situation for PlayStation. Like, Little Big Planet was one of my favorite franchises on PS3. Loved Little Big Planet. I love the creativity. I love the platforming, the level creator, all that shit. Endless possibilities. Loved it. Don't like the direction that they have taken with Little Big Planet now. Now they turn it into like a 3D platformer, which is, it's fine, like it works, I understand it, but it's not what made Little Big Planet so special. I love the creativity of the original games. I get it, they've done 3 of them, there's only so much they can do with it, and then they moved on to Dreams. Dreams is another game that I have played. I just didn't play a lot of it because I kind of missed the boat on that one. It was already kind of dead when I got there, but it's still being supported now, of course. It's just not as popular as it used to be. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of where they've gone with Little Big Planet. I don't really approve of this 3D platformer thing. Like, if it was just a spin-off and they were still making, Little Big Planet 4 or Dreams 2, whatever they're going to do, then that's fine. But if they're going to dedicate their resources and time to a 3D platformer, I don't know if that's where it's going to be. I don't know if that's what I want. That's definitely not what I personally want out of my Little Big Planet. I prefer that 2D fucking create your own world situation. That was way better. Speaking of Sackboy, we got Astro's Playroom, which is, like I said, kind of the predecessor for Little Big Planet. Even it's like mascot wise, I would call Sackboy the PS3 mascot. He kind of was. He was cute. He was likable. He had a great video game. So I would go with Sackboy. There's a lot of mascots for PlayStation 3. No one really grabbed it and took it away. But I would say someone who grabbed it a little bit more than others and it made sense was Sackboy. They tried. But now we have Astro. Astro's Playroom was awesome. That was my first PlayStation 5 experience because it is included with the PlayStation 5. It's basically a tech demo, but it is without a doubt, it is the greatest tech demo I have ever played. It was so fun, so creative. The nostalgia factor was incredible. The amount of stuff they were pulling out, old Sony references, video game references, hardware references. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I'm a huge Sony guy. I've been a PlayStation guy since I was 7 years old. 6 years old? 6 or 7 years old, I've been on PlayStation and never looked back. I play other consoles, but PlayStation has been my number one since I was 6 or 7. Okay, so I really enjoyed Astro's Playroom. Is that what it's called? I haven't gotten to Astro Bot yet, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But Astro's Playroom, that still is one of my favorite experiences on PlayStation 5. It actually utilized the DualSense 5 controller in ways that I have not seen any video game even get close to attempting to utilize this controller to its full capabilities. I was blowing on the controller playing Astro's Playroom. I was using the motion controls, the analogs were way tighter, and just that game actually showed off what the PlayStation 5 is all about, and I have not experienced any game that has done that yet. By far, that's what it was designed to do, but it did it so freaking well, and it was so fun. It's a short but sweet experience. I think it was 6 hours, maybe, but it was delightful. And like I said, still one of my favorite PS5 exclusive experiences, and that one's actually exclusive. That is a PS5 only. It's the only place you can play it, so that was cool. Now we have another one. This is an actual PS5 exclusive. You can only play this on PS5, and that is Demon's Souls. Now, I have opinions of this game. I love it. Of course, I love it. I platinum this game, but that's kind of what's taken away from my true love of this game is I overdid it. I played it too much, and yeah, I kind of ended up not liking it by the end of it, but I know this is an amazing video game. It is one of the reasons why I bought a PlayStation 5. I played Demon's Souls back in the day when it originally released, never beat it, and then they show off this stunning. This is probably still the best looking PlayStation 5 game, is Demon's Souls. Incredible. This game looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. When I saw gameplay for the first time, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was especially I played the original game and I remember what that game looked like. I'm like, wow, what have you done to Demon's Souls? It looks incredible. And I want them to do that with every Dark Souls, Demon's, whatever. Do all the FromSoft games like this. Just give me that graphics, and they didn't even touch it. They didn't touch the game. They left it pretty much untouched. It was still the original experience that we experienced back in 2009, and it's just PS5 graphics, and true PS5 graphics, man. This is, like I said, one of the best, if not the best looking PlayStation 5 game I have played to date. No one's topped it, in my opinion. Now, the game itself, it's not for everybody, obviously. Some people just don't like hard video games. They don't like the FromSoft games. I completely understand that. If you want to get into it, this is not the game to do it. Don't start on Demon's Souls, because there are some mechanics in this game that are fucking ridiculous, like the world tendency stuff. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. Doesn't explain it to you. So I would skip Demon's Souls if you haven't played one before, because it's seemingly pretty advanced. If you are going to try and take it down, please use a guide. Don't hate the game because you're bad at it or you're getting killed a lot, use a guide. If you need help, use the help. There's tons of great guides out there. Again, I will shout out Fighting Cowboy. He is, in my opinion, the best Souls-like guide out there. So that's the one I always use. So that's what I recommend. But I don't recommend this to be the one you start out on. So that's just where I'm at. I've played all of them, so my opinion is that. So if you want to take it, you can. If you don't, you don't. Oh well. But there's some weird things, some weird mechanics they don't use anymore in the FromSoft games anymore. So I liked it though. I played the shit out of Demon's Souls. I went through it four times to get the platinum, and it took a lot out of me. The boss fights are mostly, I don't know, there's definitely some that suck. There are some that are really good. There are some that are in the middle, they're whatever. But, Flame Lurker, really, I will never forget Flame Lurker. That motherfucker can go to hell. But it's a good game. It's a great game. I would damn near say it's an amazing game, a 9 out of 10 kind of game. And if you're like me and you're a Souls junkie and you're a FromSoft junkie, then yeah, maybe Demon's Souls is the type of game that could sell you on a console. But just keep in mind, it's nothing new. We've seen this game before. Like I said, they didn't change anything. It's the exact same game that it was in 2009, just looks way better. So to have that as one of your flagship games, not a great sign, right? Not a great sign to have a remake as one of your top games in terms of convincing you to drop $1,000+ on this console. But it's really good though. I will admit, it's one of the greatest remakes out there. We move on. We got Horizon Forbidden West. I'm pretty sure you can play this on PS4. I'm not 100%, but I'm like 80% sure on that one. But a great game. I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. I just preferred the story and the characters and just the theming of that game more. There was so much more mystery and just everything was new, and I preferred it that way. I don't like the direction Aloy takes in the second game. She's just not very likable of a character. She's kind of a bitch. I don't know. She's just not a very likable character comparatively to her in the first game. I much preferred her in the first game, and I prefer the first game. But the second game, gameplay wise, this is one of the best experiences on PlayStation 5. I love the combat in Horizon. It is so much fun. You're battling these giant robotic dinosaur fucking creatures, and you're shooting off pieces of them, and you're collecting the pieces to create new gear, and it is so fun. It is some of the funnest combat I have ever played. You got a bow and arrow, you got a fucking spear. It's old school and futuristic at the same time. It's got a good story. Most of the characters are likable. Music's amazing, graphically incredible. Definitely one of the best looking games on PlayStation 5. Blew me away. I just didn't overly love the story and the characters as much as I did in the first game, but it's still a great game. Absolutely enjoy it. And if you have a PlayStation 4 or 5, it's a must play in my opinion. The Horizon games, they're phenomenal. Up next, we have Ghost of Tsushima, which is one of the first experiences I had on PlayStation 5. I bought that the day I bought my PlayStation 5. I saw it sitting there, the director's cut. And yes, this is another game you can play on PlayStation 4, but they made a different version of it, a slightly better version of it for PlayStation 5, better graphics, frame rate, and all that shit. I'm pretty sure the multiplayer was also given to PlayStation 4 as well, but they added a multiplayer function to Ghost of Tsushima later on, which was amazing. I really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. Jin, the character, one of my favorite characters in recent gaming memory. You can hear me talk about him in the episode 2 episodes ago, my 25 favorite characters of all time. Jin Sakai cracks that list, baby, because he's so badass. And if you want to experience being a badass samurai, and yes, it is an open world game, but it does some things differently that are really refreshing, especially like the waypoint system, how it's just like you follow the wind and you follow the petals of flowers and stuff like that to get to your destination. Because obviously this is a game that takes place way back in the day where they didn't have that technology, so it would be kind of weird to have like a GPS system in this game, which they don't. They take that into consideration. It is a gorgeous video game. Music's amazing. Story is fantastic. The gameplay is awesome. The swordplay is really, really strong. I really enjoyed the duels that you're doing in this game. Really fun. And I can't wait to get to the next game. All right. So Ghost of Tsushima, yet another one that is PS4 as well. Now we have an actual PS5 exclusive. This one you can only play on PS5, and that is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. So this would be one of the games that, tickled my pickles. I'm like, man, I needs to play that. I love Ratchet & Clank. I was a little late to the party. Grew up as a Jak and Daxter kid, and got hooked on to Ratchet & Clank later in life, but I have not looked back since. Not to be rude to Jak and Daxter, but I wish I got to Ratchet & Clank earlier, because these are phenomenal. I love them all, even though they're not like overly different from each other. From the first game to the most recent game, you can still, there's still very similar gameplay elements there. Obviously, it's much more tight and looks incredible. This game looks awesome, and it needed the PS5 power to run this game, because they do some really wacky shit with the dimensions, where you have like a lot of shit going on at the same time on one screen. It's very impressive. It doesn't really do anything revolutionary for the Ratchet & Clank franchise. It is a Ratchet & Clank game through and through. Great combat. It's just, they're so fun. They're just such well-made games. Is it a 9 out of 10? I think most of the time they're like 8.5s out of 10. Just great experiences, and like really no complaints. There's just like, I don't know what element that Ratchet & Clank is missing. They're missing something. It's something that franchise is missing, that it's going to push it to that 9, 10 out of 10. But I think every experience that I've had with Ratchet & Clank has been great. I love them all. Personally, I think my favorite one might be A Crack in Time, just because the puzzles were so damn fun in that game. And you do play as Clank a lot more, but the puzzles were so good. I love the puzzles in that game. But Rift Apart, definitely one of the better ones in the franchise. If you're a Ratchet & Clank fan, you can't miss it, right? But is it really worth dropping $1,000 for? It's not the most replayable. Personally, I don't really remember a damn thing about the story or anything like that. I played it quite a few years ago, so my memory on it is rather hazy. But I know it's a Ratchet & Clank game. I know exactly what I'm going to get. It's kind of like Lego. You know exactly what you're going to get out of a Lego game. You kind of know exactly what you're going to get out of a Ratchet & Clank. So if you love that experience, then, I'm not going to stop you, but I don't think it's like the PlayStation 5 seller. It's not a very long game. There's not a whole lot of replayability to it, so I don't know, man. It's a great game. It's definitely an essential PS5 video game. If you have one, you have to have this game in your library, but I don't know if it's worth buying a PS5 for. So we'll move on. We got Spider-Man 2 / Miles Morales. I wanted to include them both because they were both. Miles Morales is one of my first PlayStation 5 games. It was cheap. It was one of the cheap games that you can get at the time. I was like, all right, I'll pay $30, $40 for this. And it's an amazing game. I freaking loved Miles Morales. I might like it more than the first Spider-Man game. Like, it's just paced a little bit better. I like Miles more than Peter Parker. I think Miles has more personality to him. He's just a little more spicy. I like him. And the music is better. They got a great soundtrack in Miles Morales. Don't miss this is another one of those spin-off games it's not a full Spider-Man game, but it's a Spider-Man game. It's a fantastic, it plays as good as a Spider-Man game. It's just not as long. That's all. That's the only difference. Like, this is maybe an 8 to 10 hour experience, where a normal Spider-Man game is like 20, 25 hours. So, I don't see anything wrong with the experience being shorter. It is a replayable game. There is New Game Plus. Other than that, there's really not much to it. I haven't gone back to do New Game Plus. I'm saving that for another day so I can get the Platinum. And they're very fun Platinums to get as well, these ones. And I believe, I'm not 100%, but I think Spider-Man 2 is a PS5 exclusive. I'm not 100%. I don't feel good about that one. I'm like 50% on that. So do your research. But Spider-Man 2, another game from Insomniac that I don't know if it's really necessarily a game that you would plop down $1,000 for to get Spider-Man 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know. Like, it's an amazing video game. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's another essential video game for a PlayStation 5 owner, if you have, or possibly PS4 owner. But it's a must-have video game. The story was awesome. I love the fact that they're mixing the two characters together. I'm trying not to spoil it here, but it's a great mix of both the games into the sequel, and it was delightful. I can't wait for the next one. The problem is now we're at the point where it's kind of like Ratchet and Clank, where they can't really, there's not much more they can do to revolutionize the series. Like, from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 2, not a lot has changed. Not really. Like, the story's gotten better and shit like that, but gameplay-wise, it's been pretty much untouched, which is fine, because it's damn near perfect, so I don't really see what they can do to improve other than maybe some more combos and shit like that, but it's been pretty much untouched, so I don't know if it's necessarily a PS5-worthy experience to purchase a whole PlayStation 5 for it. Again, if you have a PS4 and you can play it there, just play it there. Like, honestly, the graphical jump from PS4 to 5 is not that big. Not that big of a deal, man. It really, really isn't. Like, there are some games, like Demon's Souls, that you're like, wow, this is incredible. But is it worth to drop $1,000 for? I don't know. I don't think so. There's just graphics just don't do it for. That's not what I buy the consoles for. I buy them for the games. I'm looking at the games that are going to come out exclusively for this console. I'm like, I can't miss that. That's why I bought the Switch too, because I'm like, eventually there's going to be a Zelda, Animal Crossing. I can't miss those. I can't miss them. So I had to buy it. So I'm not talking about Switch. I'm talking about PlayStation. Regardless, these games, where am I? I'm lost in my list. We're talking about Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man. I don't know, man. It depends how much you like the first game. If you played the first game, or if you haven't played Spider-Man yet, then maybe like you can splurge and buy the PlayStation 5 and get all the Spider-Man games. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be a really fun time. That'd be an amazing time. It might be a little one note though. You might get burnt out playing the Spider-Man games back to back to back, but they're pretty good. Okay, so now we're getting into, in my opinion, console purchasing worthy video games, and there's only two. So we'll start with Returnal. Returnal is a game that it's not for everybody, so again, do your research. It's a very hard game. It's a roguelike game, but it's like the first ever AAA roguelike game. There's been, a lot of Hades. This is the first one where the graphics were as good as they get. The graphics in Returnal are phenomenal. Looks an amazing looking video game. So freaking good. Music's phenomenal, but it's the gameplay. This might be the best gameplay on PlayStation 5 is Returnal. In my opinion, I believe it is fully exclusive to PS5. And I know the Sorrows game just came out. I haven't gotten it yet, but it's definitely on my list for sure. But Returnal was one of the... I was blown away by this game. I couldn't fucking believe how fun it was to play. The challenge was just right. It wasn't it's not one of the hardest games I've ever played. It's a hard game. It's hard. It's not very, very difficult. It's not gonna... I didn't think it was that bad. Admittedly, you do have to wait for the perfect run. You got to get the right weapons. You got to get the right perks to get through some of these bosses that they expect you to fight. But not at any point did I find this game unfair. Did I get angry at it for cheap deaths? I thought it was just incredibly well designed. I love this game. It might be my favorite. I don't know. It's close. It's 1A and 1B favorite PS5 game right now. I absolutely love Returnal, and I think it's highly replayable. You can go back. The story is wild. It's got a really wacky story going on there, and I think it's really replayable. I haven't gone back and replayed it yet. I believe it has multiplayer, so I want to get back to Returnal again one day and just play through it again because it was so fucking good, but is it necessarily worth... If you love roguelikes the way that I do, you loved Hades, you just love roguelites, and you're looking for that AAA experience in your roguelike game, this is it. This is the one. This is it. So that's I'm very high on Returnal. I'm higher than most, but it blew me away. I absolutely love it. And of course, the final game that we have on the exclusive list is God of War Ragnarok. Obviously, so you can play this game on PS4. It is what it is. I understand it. You have an install base on PS4. You got how many millions of PlayStation 4 consoles are out there? Why would you leave them out in the dark when you can make millions and millions of dollars on that? The only thing that sucks is that it's left this generation lacking because we're still giving games to PlayStation 4, which means the PlayStation 5 games aren't pushing the maximum that they should be pushing, like Demon's Souls, like Ratchet and Clank. Push this console to its limits, and we're just not getting that the way that we did in other generations. It's just They've just been too focused on previous generation and making sure that it's playable on that console as well so they can make more money and money. It's always money. But God of War Ragnarok, holy shit. That is a 10 out of 10. Easily a 10 out of 10. That is the most 10 out of 10 video game ever. It is. Now, it doesn't mean it's perfect. 10 out of 10 doesn't mean perfect. It's just a 10 out of 10 video game. It's incredible. Everyone should play it. And is it worth buying a PlayStation 5 for? Fuck. It just might be, dog. It just might be. Obviously you're not going to buy a console and only play one video game on it. You're obviously going to fill out that library. You're going to get some more games. And maybe there's 4 or 5 games on this list that I talked about that tickle your pickle. And that's enough to justify a purchase. If you're like, fuck, there's 5+ video games, 10 video games that I can only experience on this console. Yeah, I think that's worth your money, worth your time and all that shit. But like I said, a lot of these you can play on PS4. If you have a PS4, money's tight. You don't have to make that. I just don't think it's worth making that commitment because they haven't fully dedicated themselves to PS5. So, that's how I feel as a PS5 owner. I don't feel fully satiated. I still need more. Like we haven't pushed the limits of this console yet, and there's only a few more years left. Like I don't know how much longer we're gonna have the PS5 before we start talking about the PS6. There's already rumblings, little discussions about the PS6, which makes me nervous. I mean, we still probably got 3-4 more years out of PlayStation 5, maybe more, could be more. But there's been some problems this generation that we've never experienced before. We've had numerous price increases, which is not normal. We're not used to that. We're used to the price going down as the generation goes along. But now we're in this new world where it only goes up. So honestly, if you haven't bought a PS5 yet, I think you missed the boat. I'm just going to throw that one out there. I think it's too late. The price increase, the games, I just don't know. So we'll continue this list, but I am pretty firm that if you got a PS4, just stay there, dog. Wait for the 6. But let's continue this list. Let's talk about third party. Now, third party is bumping. They got a lot of good games here. But third party, a lot of these you can play on PS4. All these you can play on other consoles, but these are amazing games, and I don't want to miss them. So you have Deathloop. Deathloop's one of my favorite, oh my goodness, experiences that I had on PS5. I love Dishonored. Love those games. It's not exactly Dishonored. It's definitely Dishonored with a very interesting twist on it. I loved it. I think it's I recommend it to a lot of people. I think it's an amazing video game. I loved it. One of my favorite games the year that I played it. And I think it's another essential game in the collection. I think Deathloop is a game that should not be missed. It's very unique. It's very fun. It's excellent. It's an excellently made video game. Then we have an indie game. I got a couple of indie games here. Why not? Dave the Diver. Love Dave the Diver, bro. That is one of the most cozy, fun little video games that I played in a while. I love, Animal Crossing. I love all those kind of games. The Sims, Harvest Moon. It doesn't matter. I love all that kind of shit. And Dave the Diver, it's not exactly one of those, like, you're running a restaurant throughout the night, and during the day you go out into the ocean, you catch fish to sell and to make meals and so on and so forth. It is a ridiculously fun gameplay loop. It's charming as fuck. It is so charming. The characters, just everything is just awesome. The art style, the music, everything is just charming as all holy heck. And I think it's one of the essential indie games of this generation. I think everyone should play Dave the Diver. It's delightful. It's so just damn good. So don't miss out on Dave the Diver. I think it's streaming on like a lot of platforms now. It's a little more pricey in terms of indie games, but it's definitely worth the price. Full price, get it on a deal. I think it's worth the price of admission. It's a long game, gives you a lot, and it's a great experience. I really enjoyed it. You also can't go wrong with Hades 2. Hades 2 is another, I think, essential video game. Just a period. It doesn't even matter if it's an indie game. I think Hades is one of the greatest games made in the last 10 years. Hades 2, Hades 1, doesn't matter. I personally prefer Hades 1, but Hades 2 is right there. Right fucking there. Right there. But, what can I say? Even though you may not like roguelites, it may not be your thing, but Hades, the character development, the storytelling is just so top-notch. You're just so interested in every character. Melinoe is a great main character. I just prefer Zagreus. That's my opinion. But they're both like 9.5, 10 out of 10 video games. They're amazing. They're, again, a little on the pricier side in terms of indie games, but they're like, I've gotten over 100 hours on both of them, so they're well worth the price of admission, I think. So you can't go wrong with either of those indie games right there, folks. We got Forza Horizon 5, which is a new situation for PlayStation 5 owners, and I think is an essential title because PlayStation's been lacking in the racing division for so long. I'm sorry, GT, Gran Turismo, you're there, I understand, but Forza's so much better. So much better, especially Horizon. Horizon, I will die on that hill. Greatest racing franchise of all time. Nothing even comes close, in my opinion. Nothing has even come close. The amount of fun and shit you can do in a Forza Horizon game. There's so much to do. Jumps, drifting, races, finding legendary awesome cars, barn finds, customization up the yin-yang. Like, the customization's crazy. And it's just one of the best playing fucking video games out there. And I'm so happy that they put it on PlayStation 5. It's selling like crazy. People are loving it. I'm so happy. I've already played it. I'm waiting for Forza Horizon 6, which is right around the corner. Oh my God. But Horizon 5, you have to play it. You have to play it. If you're a PlayStation owner, you gots to get it. It's not even full price. It is worth full price, in my opinion. I would buy these games day one. If they weren't coming out on Game Pass day one, I would 100% buy a Forza Horizon game day one because I love them so fucking much. They're so good. They're so amazing. It's the best racing franchise, period. Bar none. Nothing touches it. And watch the fuck out Gran Turismo because you're in trouble now. Because Forza Horizon's here, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Okay, we'll see where we go. Up next, we got Metaphor ReFantazio. I mean, even though I didn't love it as much as Persona, it's still an amazing video game. Very fantastical, very magical, very JRPG. Very JRPG. May not tickle everybody's pickle. I can understand that. It's a very long game, probably 120 hours, maybe longer. It's combat can get a little dry after a while, admittedly. I played a lot of these games, so the combat wasn't overly different from Persona. The characters, I wasn't attached to the characters as much as I were Persona. I didn't like the theming as much as Persona. Obviously, I'm a Persona guy, but I still really enjoyed Metaphor. I can't recommend it to everybody because it is such a long experience and it may not be everyone's bag, so do your research, try a Persona game. See if you like that. If you like that, you're probably going to dig Metaphor ReFantazio. It's got a ridiculous name. I just love saying it. So whenever I can put it on a list, I'll put it on a list. Up next, we got Resident Evil 4 Remake. So this is another one. You can play it on multiple. I'm pretty sure it's on PS4 as well. But this is an essential title. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. Amazing fucking video game. I love it. I want to play it again. I had to pull myself away from playing it again because I had other games to get to, but I just want to play Resident Evil 4 again and again and again. It is the best. Arguably, it depends what you want. So if you want your Resident Evil a little less scary, a little more action, Resident Evil 4 Remake. If you want it scary, survival horror, Resident Evil 2 Remake. You can't, both 10 out of 10 experiences, amazing, top-notch gameplay, graphics, amazing, all across the board. I can't believe how good they did with the Resident Evil 4 remake. It was better than I thought it could be. Like, they made the right changes. It's amazing. You need to experience it. You absolutely must. Absolute must. All right. Up next, we got Baldur's Gate 3. So again, I don't know if you can play this one on PS4. I don't think so. But you can play it on PC. You can play it on Xbox, I'm pretty sure. But again, this is another experience that should not be missed. It is a very long game. 150 hours plus, probably. That's how much time you're going to put in this game, but you're going to love every minute of it. It's so fucking good. I never played a Baldur's Gate game before. This is my first one. I was very shy coming in. I was very nervous because it's a very big game. There's a lot of mechanics. There's just a lot going on, but once you get it, holy shit, is this game amazing. Now, the gameplay may not be for everybody. It's turn-based, kind of strategy situation. I love strategy, so this was so up my alley. Like, the dice rolling, the strategy gameplay, the amazing characters, the incredible story. It's just it's incredible. 10 out of 10. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Baldur's Gate 3, a must-play experience. Like, holy crap. Find 150 hours, make room, and fucking slide in Baldur's Gate 3 and thank me later, because... And everyone that I've talked to that's played this game has had a completely different experience from what I have. You talk to someone that's played Baldur's Gate 3 while you're playing it, it is so much fun. You're like, oh, I did this. And you're like, what? I did this, and you fucking this happened, and then all this went down. It is crazy, man. There are some crazy things that happen in Baldur's Gate 3, and it's extremely replayable. There's so many different classes, so many different decisions you can make. I went down like the pure chaotic route where I just let everything bad happen. I was like, just let the bad flow, baby. I'm like, yep, parasite in my eye, go ahead, take me over. I'll make love to you if you want, I don't care. Did all that. So Baldur's Gate 3, definitely one of the top experiences I've had this generation, and should not be missed. Now, it's not for everybody, but I think everybody should try to make it your thing. Baldur's Gate 3, goddamn. Now we got Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Pretty sure this is only on PlayStation 5 and like Xbox and shit like that. I don't know if they put it on PS4. They might have. I don't know. Look it up. But Clear Obscure Expedition 33 was a huge game. Absolutely huge in terms of awards awarded to this game was out of control. So many Game of the Years, so many of that kind of shit. And it's deserving of it. I think personally the music is the best part of the game. The music is so fucking good. That French, just little French canonic. I don't know. I was trying to say a French word right there, but I fucked up. So I won't try that ever again. But man, the music, phenomenal. The gameplay, some of the best turn-based RPG gameplay you're ever going to have. It is so interactive, so fun. Strategy, it is incredibly awesome. Characters are amazing. Story is amazing. Graphics shouldn't even be that, like, this is an indie game. Believe it or not, it's an indie game. And it shouldn't look this good. It wasn't supposed to look this good, but it looks this good. It runs that good. It was a game that shouldn't exist, but it does. And it was better than anyone expected it to be. It's an amazing video game. You should not miss it. It's a must play. And of course, we finish it off with one of my favorite games of all time, Elden Ring. Come on now. Elden Ring is a console seller. It's an amazing video game. It doesn't matter whatever console you play it on. Goddamn. My cats are being fed again. I apologize. I should really time this better when I record these, but it is what it is. But Elden Ring, immensely replayable. You can put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. The gameplay is amazing. And it is, for my money, the best open world game I have ever played. I have never experienced this level of exploration, this level of depth, this level of I enter a cave and I'm in this cave for fucking 9 hours and it turned into this galactic outer space situation. You're like, how did that happen? Like, you can go down a little sewer that you thought was nothing and it turns out it's this whole fucking new map, this whole new area. You're like, wow, the scale in this game is insane. The boss fights are incredible. There's so many of them. And most of them are really, really good. Like, really, really top-notch boss fights. The music, forget about it. It's amazing. Graphics, incredible. I'm pretty sure it's a PS4 game because graphically, it's not the best-looking game on PlayStation 5. Like, Demon's Souls looks substantially better than Elden Ring. Like, substantially way better. But Elden Ring's a much bigger game, and it's a must-play. It is... I don't care if you don't like hard video games. Get used to it. Get good. I'll say it to you. Play it. Just play it. Elden Ring. Gotta play it. All right, now we got to the games that I haven't played yet, but I want to. So, there's going to be some games here that people are like, oh, you didn't talk about this one. Hopefully, I address that right here. So, games that I want to play, this includes third-party and exclusives, so I'll just kind of go through this list. Split Fiction. I absolutely want to play Split Fiction. I didn't love It Takes Two that much. Like, I think that's one of the more overrated games of the last, decade. It's a good game, but Game of the Year worthy? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But hopefully Split Fiction is worthy of that Game of the Year nominations that it's gotten. I love the fact that these are co-op like experiences. They're built from the ground up to be played as a co-op experience with your partner, with your friend on a couch. It's amazing. So I definitely have to get to Split Fiction. Dispatch is another one I'm very interested to get to. I talked about it on my indies episode not long ago. It's an indie game I want to play. I don't really know much about it. I just know I want to play it. So I don't want to like spoil anything by looking anything up at this point. I'm already sold. So it's like a superhero Telltale kind of new age Telltale kind of game. So I'm sold. Like that's all you got to say. It's kind of like The Boys, but a Telltale experience. I'm sold. I want that. So I definitely want to play Dispatch. We got Dragon's Dogma 2. Now my only problem with that is I haven't played Dragon's Dogma yet. So I want to try and play the first one, see if I like it. And if I like the first game, then I'll definitely get to the second game. But it's one of the more higher received games of this generation. I feel like it's kind of underappreciated, underrated. Not a lot of people talk about Dragon's Dogma. I felt like when it came out, obviously people talked about it. They talked about how awesome it was, but disappeared off the face of the planet. It's just gone. No one talks about Dragon's Dogma 2. I really would like to play it. Then you have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Same problem I have with Dragon's Dogma. Haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 yet. So I would like to try that out to see if it is a game, because it is a pretty unique game. Looks very hardcore, very in-depth. So I want to see if I'm jiving with those mechanics and stuff like that. But the reception of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 can't be ignored. It's a highly rated video game. It looks awesome. The storytelling, the gameplay looks very unique, and I want to experience it, but I got to try the first game first. Up next, this is a very personal one for me, but Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, that is one of my favorite games of all time, and I haven't played it in a long. Last time I played it, it was borderline unplayable because the controls were so tanky. And yeah, so it was really needing of a remake, and I'm happy that it got it. There was one on 3DS, but that wasn't like a true remake. This is a true like remake as far as I can tell. But regardless, I have to play it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely got to play it. Now we got I think 3 straight up PS5 experiences. I don't know. I don't think these are PS4 games, but Death Stranding 2. I played Death Stranding 1 recently. That's the only reason why I haven't really gotten to Death Stranding 2 yet, or really no rush to get to Death Stranding 2, because Death Stranding 1 was so not exhausting, but in a good way, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot. It was a big bite of a video game, a lot of story, a lot of just, it was a big game to take down. It's not really that flavor I want again right away, so I'm gonna wait a little bit on Death Stranding 2. I'm happy the reviews are great and looks awesome. I loved Death Stranding, so I'm definitely going to like this one. Death Stranding 1 is definitely a hit or miss video game. You either love it or you hate it. I loved it, so I'm very excited for Death Stranding 2 and see what they do with that game and where the story goes, of course. And we got Ghost of Yotei. Oh, fuck yeah. Same reasons why I enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. I think samurais are badass, and that setting is amazing. The game looks gorgeous. Like, I've seen some trailers for Ghost of Yotei. I already knew I was going to play it. Like, I love Ghost of Tsushima, so I knew Ghost of Yotei is obviously I'm going to play that at some point. I'll get there. Kind of waiting for the multiplayer to get dropped if it hasn't been dropped already. So I'm waiting for that. And obviously a price drop in the game itself. But Ghost of Yotei, that's another one I got to play. But number 1 on my list is Astrobot. I still haven't played Astrobot. I think it's the highest rated exclusive on PlayStation 5 right now. You know, there's some third-party games that might be rated higher, but Astrobot is a highly, highly rated game, and I have not gotten to it yet, and I must. It is a must. For me, the price is getting lower, but I also pay for the PlayStation Plus premium thing, and I'm kind of trying to wait it out so that it releases on that, but that could be like another year from now. Like, sometimes it takes like upwards of 2 years for them to release a game like that onto that service. So we'll see where that goes, if I can wait, or if I see it for a price I just can't say no to. Like, if I see it for like $25 under 30, I'm buying it. I don't even care. It's probably gonna, usually when they do that though, when they drop a game to that low of a price, it's coming out on a streaming platform. So be wary of that. Just be wary of that, because I've been caught with that a few times now. Anyway, that's it. That's all the games I got on my list. That's it. We're done. Astrobot, oh yeah. So there we go. Let me know. Hold on, we're not done yet. But let me know if there's any exclusives, games in general, third-party exclusives that I missed that I should play. Hit me up. It doesn't matter. Indie games, fucking hit me up. It doesn't even have to be a PlayStation game because I have an Xbox and a Switch too. So, recommend any game you want. But now we're going to answer the question, is it worth, at this point, buying a PlayStation 5? No, it is not. It is not, in my opinion. If you don't have a PS5 now, don't worry about it. Just wait for the PS6. It's going to come. It's going to be backwards compatible, so you can play all the PS5 games that you missed. They'll all be there. So that's my opinion for y'all. If you haven't gotten a PlayStation 5 yet, don't do it. It's too expensive now anyway. It's gone up, $150 since its release. It's gone up a ridiculous amount. So it's probably more than $1,000 now to get a PlayStation 5. And I just don't think the library is strong enough in terms of exclusivity. It just isn't there. We have, and I should have done my research on ones that were upcoming, but the only one that I know is the big one is the Naughty Dog game, Intergalactic, I believe it's called, and that's still a ways away. Like, it's not close. It's not coming out this year. I don't think it's even coming out next year. So that's been a disappointment. We haven't had Naughty Dog this generation. We've still been waiting this whole generation. Still haven't gotten a Naughty Dog experience. We're used to getting 3 or 4 Naughty Dog experiences per generation. Now we're down to 1, if even that. It's only going to get worse too. Game development is getting ridiculous. It is taking more and more and more time and resources to make a video game, and the timing is getting crazy. We'll be lucky to get 1 Zelda. It'd be crazy if they did 2 again on the Switch 2. I think that'd be insane, but I would love it. That'd be so awesome. Regardless, if you already have a PS5, I don't think it was a bad purchase. I'm happy with mine. I just can't recommend it right now because the price keeps going up. The controllers are busted. I just fixed both of my PlayStation 5 controllers because the batteries died on them. So I fixed both of those. And on top of that, they barely utilize the DualSense 5. Not a lot of games I have played has utilized the adaptive triggers. They haven't used the motion controls. They haven't used the blowy thing. I can blow on the controller and things will happen, but they don't utilize it. So what's the fucking point? Anyway, that's my opinion. Don't get a PS5. Stick with your PS4. Wait for the PS6. I don't know how many more times I can say it, but that's where I'm at with it. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed with this generation. I'll be honest. I'm disappointed. I was expecting more out of this generation graphically. In terms of innovation, it just really hasn't happened this year. I've been talking about it with the homie Jesse. Other generation jumps were so much crazier. PS1 to PS2, fucking crazy. PS2 to PS3, fucking crazy. That was the HD generational jump. That was crazy. Since that, hasn't been that much, man. PS3 to 4, PS4 to 5, yeah, not that big of a jump, or definitely not the jumps I'm used to. We're talking revolutionary jumps, and I just don't think we've had that. You might get that if you wait. If you have a PS4 and you wait for 6, then it might be a big enough jump that you're like, wow, because the graphics will be, I don't know where the graphics are going to be at that point. We're going to get 8K, 6K, I don't know where the graphics are going to go from here. They can only get so good, right? There's got to be a ceiling to this at some point before we get to, I don't know, real life actors in video games, being a normal thing. I don't know. But, yeah, that's my opinion. But let me know. Am I wrong? Do you think it is worth getting a PS5 now? I just think you'd be crazy to get a PS5 now. Honestly, I think you'd be crazy. We're close enough to the next one. There's really nothing, unless you have, like I said, the next gen is going to be backwards compatible. So all you got to do is wait. Just wait. That's all I can say. Just wait. I bought a PS5 because they were impossible to find, and I finally saw one for the first time I've ever seen one live, and I was like, I have to buy it because I'll probably never see one again. And now they're readily available. You can get them all over the place, different colors and fucking bundles and all this shit. But yeah, man, just wait for 6. I'll say it again. Just wait for 6. And there we go. That's the episode. I'm going to end it there before I just keep repeating myself over and over again. But there we go, everybody. Another episode down. Pretty fun. I like that one. I don't like shitting on PlayStation. I felt like I was kind of shitting on PlayStation this whole episode. But we talked about a lot of really good video games. So there's still a lot to play. There's still tons of video games. It's just not as much as I'm used to. I'm a spoiled rotten brat, so there's that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. You the best. You want to be even more of the best, make sure you're reviewing and sharing the podcast around with a few friends, maybe an enemy, why not? And in terms of episodes we got coming up, Pokopia will be next week. Do a full review on that and answer the question, is it worth buying a Switch 2 for Pokopia? And then after that, we'll probably do indies. And then after that, we'll probably do, I had a list. What was that list? I have lists. Anyway, we got lists, shit like that. So, yep, got lots to do. Episode 200 is very close. I have an idea. There is a game that I downloaded that is worthy of an episode 200 because it's so important to me. I just don't know if I can get it done by then. So it's a pretty big game. So we'll see where it goes. I have ideas for episode 200, but hit me with some ideas if you got any for episode 200. And there we go, everybody. Thank you again so much for listening. We'll be back again with some out GXGamerCast. And also check out my YouTube channel, please and thank you. I upload lots of videos of my cats. They're super cute, so go check it out. Thanks, bye.